In the news this week, a successful Christian school is the target of unwarranted scepticism by Ofsted. Campaigners against Scotland's named persons scheme are considering an appeal after a judge dismissed their judicial review. And Christian unions may be monitored under controversial new anti-terrorism plans. Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. A Christian school with some of the best exam results in its area has been given the worst possible grading by Ofsted. A draft version of the report included a paragraph which attacked Grindon Hall Christian School's ethos. The Christian ethos of the school permeates much of the school's provision. This has restricted the development of a broad and balanced approach to the curriculum. The principal of the Sunderland school, Chris Gray, said this reveals unwarranted scepticism on the part of the inspection team. Parents reacted strongly to the findings of the Ofsted report.
My children come home, they just love it. I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, I really am bewildered.
My children went to a school previously where they had a good Ofsted report. They weren't performing very well academically, they were bullied and they were very unhappy. So I came to Mr. Gray, and since they've been in this school, I mean, they've excelled academically, the bullying has stopped.
I was a deputy head teacher in a very good school in Gateshead, consistently rated good to outstanding. I know what it's like to go through Ofsted, I know what they're looking for, I know what it's like to be a teacher as well as a parent. And the school I taught at, this school is as good as that school, easily as good as that school.
Well, it's an absolute disgrace what's happened, and everybody's in agreement. It's an absolutely wonderful school, and to say that we're homophobic and racist is just... it's just incredible. I've got those parents in there who are standing up and their children have been to 5 different schools and they've been bullied for being gay, and they've come to our school and it's the only school that they've never been bullied at for being gay. It's absolutely incredible, and Ofsted should be investigated.
After the inspection, Mr. Gray wrote a formal complaint to Ofsted because of the inappropriate nature of questions asked. Children as young as 10 were asked if they knew what lesbians did and if their friends felt trapped in the wrong body. Ofsted has not yet replied to the complaint. Campaigners against plans to impose a named person on every child in Scotland are considering an appeal after a judge dismissed their judicial review. The Christian Institute, alongside other charities and parents, argue that the scheme breaches human rights and data protection laws. But Lord Pentland rejected their concerns in a written judgment following a 4-day judicial review at the Court of Session last year. A spokesman for the grassroots campaign group No to Named Persons said they are discussing all options for appeal. He said their campaign will continue against this Big Brother law which threatens every family in the land and diminishes the rights and responsibilities of mums and dads to look after their children as they see fit. The named person proposals are flawed in conception, drawn up in error, legislated for in haste, and will fail the very children this politically correct government claims to be acting in the name of. Under the named person scheme, every child under the age of 18 is assigned a state employee to monitor their welfare. The plans are set to be rolled out fully next year. New anti-terrorism plans have come under fire as they would force universities to monitor CU talks for extremist ideas. Under the Counter-Terrorism and Security Bill, public bodies, including universities, must try to stop people being drawn into terrorism. The guidance on how to fulfil this duty uses vague terms that could be used to restrict free speech. Universities and further education colleges are to ensure they exclude those promoting extremist views that support or are conducive to terrorism. Societies, including Christian unions, would have to hand over presentations to be vetted, submit names of speakers for checking in advance, and risk their events being cancelled by university authorities. Parliament's Joint Committee on Human Rights warned that the legal uncertainty about the definition of extremist could hinder academic debate. And during a House of Lords debate on the bill, Baroness Manningham-Buller, former Director General of MI5, raised serious concerns.
The government may be able to convince me, but I just can't see how legislation can really govern hearts, minds and free speech. We can legislate against activity, against actions that people take that can be detected and prosecuted and brought to court. This I find much more difficult We already have legislation to incitement against violence, which is difficult enough to get evidence of, as the police know.
The government is currently consulting on the guidance. A Christian organisation has received a public apology after its event was banned because of its marriage beliefs. In 2012, the Queen Elizabeth II Conference Centre in Westminster prevented Christian Concern from holding a debate there on marriage. The venue said the group's views were inappropriate for a government-owned building. But Christian Concern took legal action and after more than 2 years has now reached an out-of-court settlement. A joint statement from the parties involved upheld the right to express views in favour of traditional marriage. The government reaffirms its commitment to the long-standing British liberties of freedom of religion, freedom of speech and freedom of association, with mutual respect for the dignity and rights and freedoms of others, including the right of Christian Concern to debate their views. The conference centre also agreed to hold a future event for Christian Concern. And finally, a photo capturing the kindness of a Christian restaurant manager in America has gone viral after a customer posted a picture of the incident on Facebook. Mark Meadows, who manages a Chick-Fil-A shop in Birmingham, Alabama, gave a meal and his own pair of gloves to a man who appeared to be homeless. News of the event spread across America, and Meadows was interviewed by Fox News.
I said, well, you need gloves. And he was very hesitant about even taking the gloves from me. I said, no, you need to take the gloves. I can get some more. And I had some sitting right here and gave him my gloves. Then went and got him something to eat. And then that was pretty much it.
Chick-fil-A's aim in business is to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us, to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. Andrea Stoker, who took the photo that has now been liked nearly 80,000 times, encouraged people to mirror his kindness. Do something for your fellow man, whether they can return the favour or not, and maybe, just maybe, we can change the direction of the things that fill our minds and the media. This isn't about any of us, but what God can do through it. Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.